Hammer of the Ancients is a staple skill for the Barbarian class, making the leap from Diablo 3 to 4 with a vengeance. Its relatively small area of effect is easily countered by acquiring offensive aspect of Ancestral Force. With the help of this aspect, Hammer of the Ancients turns into an AoE powerhouse that is also thrifty on resources. While you might have some troubles with resource maintenance in its early stages of the character progression, this spec quickly ramps into a workhorse that can demolish any form of content in Diablo 4. Take note though, we highly recommend that you stick to World Tier 1 while leveling with a Barbarian as a whole, and especially until you complete Sunken Ruins in Sklossglen, till the capstone dungeon that nets you with the build defining aspect. But now let's move forward and talk about your skills, and the main damage dealer and namesake of the build is of course going to be Hammer of the Ancients. You will greatly expand its default concentrated effect with the use of offensive aspect of Ancestral Force, which, as mentioned before, is obtainable early on in Act 2. And your playstyle with Hammer of the Ancients has the following rotation. First off, this is going to be the period of gathering the attention of monster groups. This is going to be done by simply walking near the packs of enemies and aggroing them onto you. Second off is applying self buffs, such as Warcry and Rallying Cry. Warcry is a damage amplifier that also nets you the Berserking state, which further enhances damage and movement speed. And when you take the enhanced Warcry on the skill tree, Rallying Cry then nets you excellent resource generation and boosts movement speed, making it a great all-rounder of a skill. Third off in the rotation is the simplest and most satisfying part, smashing things to pieces. This is going to be with Hammer of the Ancients, so you just want to dump your resource reserve when you've gathered a decent group of enemies and watch them splatter across the screen. And then you can finish off tougher enemies with Death Blow, which, if you time it correctly, engage the remaining healthier foe, literally inflict the killing blow. This will reset the cooldown and be available right away for another devastating strike. Note that when you're facing elites, you might feel the need for backup and a little bit of an extra helping hand. This is when you can summon your ultimate Call of the Ancients, which summons 3 ancient barbarian warriors at your side. Once that rotation is over, you will likely need to recoup your resource losses. This is when you slash away at your enemies with Lunging Strike, an excellent fury generation at the Barb's disposal. But if you guys are going to be no-lifey Diablo like us, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button because we're going to be posting a ton of D4 content, and you are not going to want to miss it. But moving forward, let's talk about actually leveling up. Now that you know what to do, let's walk your way through the process of actually getting there. So follow along and level up your character with us. Now in the early steps, level 2, 3, there are 2 skill points, and your first 2 skill points will be spent in the basic skills section in order to even reach core skills and get the most meat of the build. Lunging Strike is the best basic skill for barbarians. On top of its fury generation aspects, it serves as a mobility skill and allows the slow and lumbering barbarian to stick to their target. This is great against mobs and bosses that reposition frequently. So level 2 take Lunging Strike, and then level 3 take Enhanced Lunging Strike. But now it's Hammer time. This is going to be levels 4 through 7. Now that Hammer of the Ancients becomes part of the build, it's time for you to get accustomed to its playstyle. Internalize the mechanics of the Furious Hammer of the Ancients node, which rewards you when you use Hammer of the Ancients at near or full fury. Of course, once you obtain offensive aspect of Ancestral Force, Hammer of the Ancients becomes a fearsome factor and a true centerpiece of the build. So level 4, take Hammer of the Ancients, level 5, take Enhanced Hammer of the Ancients, level 6, Furious Hammer of the Ancients, and level 7, Battle Lunging Strike. But now we can move into Shouts and Finishing Blows. This is levels 8 through 19. The Fury-starved fledgling barbarian picks up a lot of speed and utility once Shouts come into the mix. Rallying Cry is the priority shout as it gives tremendously useful mixture of movement speed and generation of fury. Not to mention the underestimated Warcry is a sizable damage boost with an extra side of movement speed once Enhanced Warcry node comes into the mix. Around these levels, you also get Death Blow into your rotation, allowing you to finish off priority targets like elite and boss enemies more efficiently. So level 8, take Rallying Cry. Level 9, Enhanced Rallying Cry. Level 10, Tactical Rallying Cry. Level 11, Hammer of the Ancients. Level 12, Hammer of the Ancients. Level 13, Warcry. Level 14, Enhanced Warcry. Level 15, Mighty Warcry. Level 16, Hammer of the Ancients. Level 17, Death Blow. Level 18, Enhanced Death Blow. And level 19, Fighter's Death Blow. But moving forward, let's talk about Call of the Ancients and general buffs. This is going to be level 20 to 33. At these levels, barbarians acquire their ultimate. In this case, the preferred skill for the role is Call of the Ancients. These signature summons provide massive value during prolonged fights, which is crucial for Hoda Barbs. because they tend to lose steam and struggle with resources in fights against bosses and tougher elites. Note the pickup of the hamstring passives and try your best to use two-handed swords in your technique slot in order to apply bleeds and slows from the passive. So level 20, pick up Pit Fighter. Level 21, No Mercy. Level 22, Expose Vulnerability. Level 23, Hamstring. Level 24, Call of the Ancients. Level 25, Prime Call of the Ancients. Level 26, Supreme Call of the Ancients. Level 27 to 30 is just going to be put into Death Blow. Level 31 and 32 is Expose Vulnerability, and then level 33 is Booming Voice. But now we move into Capstone Passive and finalizing the build. This is going to be levels 34 to 49. While Unbridled Range offers too much of a damage increase to be ignored, it will also make Fury harder to manage. So take this Capstone Passive and learn to play around its limitations. You will stabilize Fury later on with items and additional build tuning as you get close to the end game. So level 34, take Unbridled Rage. Level 35 to 37, Pressure Point. Level 38 to 40, Rallying Cry. Level 41 and 42 is going to be Booming Voice. Level 43 to 45 is going to be Wallop. Level 46, Raid Leecher. Level 47, Thick Skin. And then level 48 and 49 is Counter Offensive. Now with your Renown, you are going to have 10 extra skill points that you will gradually attain from gathering Renown. Spend them according to the priority outlined so far, but once you finish that, allocate the remaining points using the following list. Renown 1 should go into Counter Offensive, Renown 2 and 3 into No Mercy, 4 and 5 into Pit Fighter, 6 is going into Aggressive Resistance, 7, 8, and 9 are going into Prolific Fury, and then 10 is going into Thick Skin. Moving forward though, let's talk about your arsenal system, and first off, how to unlock it. Barbarians unlock their unique class mechanic, the arsenal system, when they reach level 5. By opening the Expertise tab, default binding is Shift+C, you will see all the various bonuses from using the different weapon class types in Diablo 4. Once you reach level 15 and complete the Masters of Battle quest in the Dry Steppes, you unlock your technique slot, which grants an additional bonus according to the technique that you select. But how do you use it? Well, for your weapon power, use your current strongest weapon according to its damage and overall stats. Its particular arsenal system power is not relevant while leveling, as you exchange weapons far too often to make a strategic choice. And for your technique power, you should take the two-handed sword technique, which applies bleed to your every attack. In conjunction with the hamstring passive, this also nets you additional crowd control in the form of a slow. In turn, this enables the use of conditional stats like damage to crowd controlled, damage to bleeding, and damage to slowed enemies. Additionally, this enables the extra damage of the No Mercy passive. Jumping forward though, let's talk about your gear and also stat priorities. Coming up with particular gearing goals and strategies while leveling is near impossible, since the regular increase of levels makes previously dropped gear irrelevant at a steady pace. In practice, you will be power spiking your performance anytime you come across a legendary, the orange colored ones, or a unique, the golden color. And while also doing this, you are going to be swapping in the rares, those are the yellow colored gear, in and out constantly all the way to level 50. Now for your weapon, you should be prioritizing obtaining the highest damage two-handed bludgeoning weapon you can find. This is due to the fact that Hammer of the Ancient requires the use of that particular weapon subtype, and all other equipped weapons merely become stat sticks that feed into your overall power. Look for high DPS on your two-handed bludgeoning weapon, as well as Hammer of the Ancient's skill damage, critical strike damage, and open sockets. In your other weapons, stacking into critical strike damage, and also look for sockets. For your equipment slots, you will largely be looking for defense. The helm will ideally have cooldown reduction, strength, and will add ranks to your skills. The armor and pants should add to your strength, life, and armor, and the same applies to your boots, but they will ideally have some movement speed sprinkled in. The gloves are the only offense-oriented slot in your equipment and should add to your Hammer of the Ancient's skill damage, your critical strike chance, and your attack speed. For your jewelry, you should look into offensive-oriented stats that are closely tailored to your build. Since these slots get gear swapped relatively less frequently, rolls are much more important than item level for these slots. Your amulet will ideally provide a flat increase to your damage, add to your defensive skill ranks, and provide utility stats such as movement speed and fury cost reduction. Your ring should bump up your critical strike chance and critical strike damage stats, as well as adding to your physical damage. Moving forward though, let's talk about your Codex of Power. The occultist vendor in town can imprint rare or legendary tier items with legendary aspects you have collected in your Codex of Power. These aspects are collected through the completion of specific dungeons across Sanctuary's overworld during leveling. It is highly advisable to imprint offensive aspects on your amulet rather than your weapon, since the former gets replaced less frequently, and this build will benefit the most from the following powers in order of importance. First off, Crucial. This is the aspect of Ancestral Force, and this can be found in the Sunken Ruins dungeon in Sklosklen. Next up, we have a high priority Edge Master's aspect. This is found in the Old Stone dungeon in Sklosklen also. Another high importance is the aspect of Echoing Fury. These can be found in the Sirocco Caverns in Kyrgyzstan. Next up, we have a medium importance. This is the aspect of the Expected. This can be found in the Underroot dungeon in Sklosklen. And the last medium importance is the aspect of Numbing Wrath. This can be found in Heathen's Keep in Hwazar. But now let's move into legendary powers. And while just about any legendary item you find while leveling will be a sizable upgrade immediately upon equipping it, some legendary items will complement your build far better than others. For the Hoda Barbarian, the best leveling legendary aspects to find are as follows. First up, we have Bold Chieftain's aspect. This allows you to chain cast shouts in the thick of battle, trivializing resource management. Second, we have aspect of Limitless Rage. This boosts damage for your next Hoda as you generate fury. Third, we have the aspect of Echoing Fury. This helps your fury maintenance while shouts are active. Fourth, we have the aspect of the Protector. This provides a survivability boost while engaging elite enemies, which are arguably some of the deadliest foes in Sanctuary. And fifth, we have the Conceited aspect. This increases damage while a barrier is active, forming a nice interplay with the former power. But if you guys have any questions about leveling up Barb, drop them in the comments below. And if you guys want to stay up to date with the latest and greatest Diablo 4 tips, tricks, and news, don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.